Has anyone ever shared the hard truth about life after turning 80? Entering your 80s brings a quiet change that few talk about, not the obvious things like birthdays or slower mornings, but the deeper, often unspoken shifts. This time is full of wisdom, but also loss, closeness and distance, calmness, and sometimes loneliness. If you are not ready for these changes, they can surprise you and leave you wondering why nobody warned you. In this video, we will explore 5 tough realities of life after 80. Not to scare or upset you, but to bring clarity. When you recognize these changes, you can prepare for them and face them with strength instead of shock. We will discuss shrinking social circles, a body that no longer recovers like before, the growing need for help that feels uneasy even if necessary, how society slowly starts to ignore you, and that strange feeling when old regrets meet too much free time and little purpose. Stay with us until the end, because even though some of these truths are difficult, they also bring a chance for acceptance, resilience, and shaping the last part of life with dignity that only you can define. Let's look at what really happens after 80 and how you can face it with clear eyes, steady hands, and confidence. Number 1. Social circles quietly shrinking. One of the first things to change after 80 is not physical but social. The people who once filled your life start to disappear, often without warning. Friends pass away, neighbors move, siblings become quieter, and even close companions who called weekly start calling less often. This is not personal, it is just time, but it leaves a hollow space. No matter how strong or independent you are, you wake up one day and notice the phone does not ring as much. Invitations slow down. Family visits become shorter and more rushed. People still care, but they are busy, distracted, or dealing with their own aging. The daily conversations and laughter that once filled your life start to fade. This is something most people are not ready for in their 60s or 70s, when many are still around and active. But after 80, you begin to outlive some people and lose touch with others. This change is so quiet that you may not notice it at first. I knew a man named Walter, 84, who went to the same coffee shop every morning for years. The staff knew his order, and friends would meet him there without texting first. It was a routine. But over time, those friends stopped coming. Some passed away, some moved, others stopped driving. One day, Walter told me, "It is strange to walk into a place where everyone used to know your name, and now you are just the man in the corner booth." The pain of that loneliness is not always loud or full of tears. Sometimes it is just a quiet evening after dinner, or a walk that feels too silent. It is knowing the list of people who truly know you is getting shorter, and you cannot change that. But knowing this reality means you can take action. You can open new doors even when others have closed. You can stay connected on your own terms, whether through a church group, a weekly lunch, a phone call you start, or even a letter. Because after 80, connection does not come to you like before. You have to go out and find it, and that takes courage. But you have made it this far, so that courage is already inside you. Number 2, a body that stops bouncing back. By the time you reach 80, your body no longer whispers, it speaks clearly. The small aches that used to come and go now stay longer. The tiredness that once passed after a nap might last into the next day. The truth that surprises many is this: after 80, even minor health issues can change your life very quickly. You might wake up feeling fine, go through your day, and by evening something feels off. A little dizziness, a sore leg, a cough that will not go away. Suddenly, you find yourself in a waiting room hearing words like monitoring, tests, or maybe even hospital admission. What used to be fixed with rest now needs serious care, and often things do not return to how they were. What makes this time hard is not just the pain, but the unpredictability. You can do everything right, eat well, move gently, sleep enough, and still feel like your body is moving faster than you, making decisions without your control. The bounce back is not what it used to be. You did not expect that one slip on the stairs could lead to weeks of healing. A stomach bug, can drain your energy for days. And even after recovery, things are not always the same. Your balance might feel weaker, your breathing harder. The bounce back is not what it was. I once met a woman named Gloria, 81, who was sharp, active, and proud of her independence. She loved caring for her garden, walking in her neighborhood, and staying involved with her book club. But after a small fall while trimming a rose bush, everything changed. It was not the injury itself, she said. It was what came after. Weeks of rest that turned into months of lost strength. My confidence went down. I thought I was just taking a break, but my body treated it like a full stop. That is the part no one tells you about at 80. Rest is not always healing the way it used to be. Sometimes it can lead to decline if you are not careful. And sometimes, even when you are careful, your body still decides to slow down anyway. You realize you are not bouncing back. You are moving forward by adapting. But here is the strength in knowing this. You start to respect your energy more. You learn to pace yourself, not from fear, but from respect for what your body has gone through. You treat your health not as something guaranteed, but as a daily effort, a serious one. And when you do that, even if you cannot bounce back like before, your footing becomes steadier. You walk slower but with more awareness. You rest longer but with purpose, and you begin to see that even a slower body can still hold a strong spirit. If you are still watching and finding this helpful, please comment number 2 below to show you are here. And if you have not subscribed yet, I suggest you do and turn on the notifications so you do not miss any videos. Your support helps us keep making good content to inform and encourage you. Now, let us move on. A growing need for help number 3. A growing need for help. No matter how independent you are, one of the hardest truths after 80 is this. You begin needing help with things you once did without thinking. It does not happen suddenly. It comes quietly, little by little, until one day you notice you are avoiding high cabinets, holding the railing a bit tighter, or hesitating to drive on a rainy day. Even though part of you still feels capable, another part knows some tasks are no longer easy. What makes this change hard is not just the physical part, but the emotional side. For those who have spent many years caring for others, the idea of becoming the one who needs help can feel uncomfortable. You might start feeling like a burden or try to hide what you struggle with, skipping grocery trips, not telling your kids about a fall, or trying to fix a light bulb even though your shoulder hurts. The wish to stay independent does not go away. If anything, it becomes stronger. But the truth is, independence after 80 looks different than it did at 60. It is not about doing everything alone anymore. It is about knowing when to ask for help and being brave enough to accept it. I knew a man named Eugene, 85, who took pride in doing everything himself. He lived through war, raised 4 children, and built his own shed with just spare wood and determination. But one winter he slipped on his icy driveway. No broken bones, just bruised pride. He did not tell anyone, but his daughter noticed something was different. She started visiting once a week to bring groceries and stay for coffee. At first, Eugene resisted. "I am fine," he would say. But over time, those coffee visits became a habit. And eventually, he admitted something that surprised even him. It is nice not having to carry everything alone. That is the change. It is not weakness. It is wisdom. Accepting help is not losing independence. It is a way to protect it. Because when you let someone help you climb stairs, drive you to the doctor, or carry a heavy bag, you are actually giving yourself more time to do what matters most. And not all help has to come from people. It can be a grab bar in the shower, a stool in the kitchen, or a reminder on the fridge. These small aids do not take away a presence. Your dignity is not lost. These small aids help protect it after 80. The bravest thing you might say is simply, "I could use a hand." Because the older you get, the more strength you show by choosing safety over pride, peace over struggle, and connection over isolation. Number 4, a presence the world starts to overlook. One of the harder truths about life after 80 is not about your body or your memory, but your presence. Slowly, you begin to feel invisible, not to those who love you perhaps, but to the world around you. The cashier ignores you and looks past, to the person behind you. The doctor talks to your adult child instead of you. The server at the restaurant assumes you cannot hear, think, or decide for yourself. It starts small, but then happens more often. Even if you try to ignore it, it settles somewhere deep inside. Because no matter your age, we all want to be seen. After living a full life, working, raising a family, making tough choices, and facing storms, it is painful to feel pushed aside just because your skin has wrinkled or your hair has turned gray. What hurts even more is that this is rarely done with bad intent. A fast-moving world forgets that slow steps still carry stories. A society focused on youth often forgets the strength needed to reach this age. Unless you speak up, you risk fading, not because you lost your voice, but because others stop listening. I remember a woman named Irene, 86, who volunteered at a local museum. One day, a visitor asked a question she could have answered without thinking. After all, she had lived through that very decade of history. But the question passed right by her. When I asked how she felt, she just smiled and said, "I am used to it." But there was sadness in her smile. That kind of sadness that comes from being seen as furniture rather than fire. But you are not furniture. You are not background. You are still here, still thinking, still contributing. And just because the world sometimes forgets that, does not mean you have to forget it yourself. So what can you do? You speak up anyway. You ask questions. You share your opinions, vote, and tell your stories even when no one asks. You stand tall, even if your knees shake, because every time you take up space, you remind the world and yourself that you are not done. You are not invisible. You are a living library. A witness to time, a voice that still matters. And you do not have to shout to be heard. You only need to refuse to disappear. If you are still watching and finding this helpful, please comment number 4 below to let me know you are here. And if you have not subscribed yet, I suggest you subscribe and turn on the bell so you do not miss any videos. Your support helps us keep creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let us move forward. Number 5. A sense of regret. If purpose is not redefined as you go deeper into your 80s, a quiet, strange feeling settles. Not just in your home or your schedule, but inside you. Life slows down, your calendar is less full. And with that slowing comes space to reflect, remember, replay. That can be what now it can feel beautiful, but if you are not careful, it can turn heavy. Not in a loud way, but quietly. The kind that makes you wish you had spent more time with someone. The kind that makes you wonder why you did not take that chance when you had it. The kind that shows up when you have time, but not always the energy or freedom to do the things you once postponed. This is not something people talk about often. We celebrate the wisdom of aging, the freedom retirement brings, the joy of grandchildren, and all of that is true, but there is also a quiet question that often goes unspoken. What now, if you have spent your whole life working, giving, running, raising, and serving, and then it all stops? It can feel like your purpose fades with it. I knew a man named Stanley, 88. He was a teacher for over 40 years. After retiring, he felt proud but also strangely empty. "No one needs me anymore," he said once, but that was not true. He just had not found a new way to be needed yet. Purpose does not retire, it changes its form. Maybe you no longer build houses, but you build confidence in your great-grandchildren with your stories. Maybe you do not lead meetings, but you lead by being present when someone is grieving. Maybe you do not solve big problems, but you ease loneliness with a smile to a neighbor. The danger of regret is not that you made mistakes. We all do. It is sitting in them too long without turning them into something meaningful. When you change how you see purpose, not as productivity but as presence, you begin to see that you still have a lot to give, not just to others, but to yourself. Because The most important work after 80 may not be for legacy or applause. It may be waking up with kindness in your heart, curiosity in your eyes, and enough courage to ask, how can I bring light today, even if just a little? That is not regret. That is redemption. And it is never too late to find it. Final thoughts. Reaching your 80s is no small thing. It is a milestone built on decades of love, loss, effort, change, and strength. But with that strength come new challenges, some subtle, others hard to ignore. Facing these realities does not make you weak. It makes you honest. It means you have lived long enough to see life for what it truly is, unpredictable, sometimes unfair, but still deeply worth showing up for. So, which of these 5 realities affected you most? Was it the silence that comes when your social world begins to shrink? The frustration of a body that no longer recovers like it used to? The difficulty of needing help when you spent a lifetime being the helper? Or maybe the feeling of invisibility when the world moves too fast to notice you? Or the ache that grows when your purpose is no longer clear? Whatever it was, I hope you felt understood, because the truth is, you are not alone in any of this. Not in slowing down, not in forgetting, not in the questions that keep you awake at night, or in the moments when you wonder what comes next. And here is the good news. Even now at this stage, you get to choose. You can choose connection. You can choose rest. You can choose to ask for help. You can choose to speak louder when someone overlooks you, and softer when someone needs your kindness. You can choose to forgive yourself for what did not happen, and honor yourself for what did. This chapter of life is not, in the end, this is the most meaningful part of the story. The part where every word holds importance, where small actions matter more than big ones ever did. The part where your presence, patience, and outlook become your true strength. Thank you for spending time with us today. We would love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and share one thing you learned and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your opinions matter to us, so do not hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you found this video helpful and enjoyable, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us keep making good content to inform and inspire you. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.